Good morning. In today's first reading, Isaiah tells us the Lord will answer us and help us, that is, in a time of favor and on the day of salvation. This is the coming of Jesus and his death on the cross. This is the new covenant, the covenant which will free all the prisoners and scatter the darkness with a light which will never go out because it's an eternal light. For the Lord is always gracious and merciful. He is eternally gracious and merciful. In today's gospel, Jesus is at work because it is God's purpose. God is at work. Jesus explains, "My Father is at work until now, so I am at work." For not only this reason, calling God his own Father and making himself equal to God, but also because he was healing on the Sabbath, his enemies became ever more determined to kill him. However, Jesus was at work, his Father's work, fulfilling Isaiah's prophecy. He was freeing all those imprisoned by sin and vanquishing the darkness with an eternal light. As Jesus tells us, "I accomplish my purpose." Jesus fulfills his purpose despite his enemies. Jesus does the work of his Father, fulfilling the prophecy of the Old Testament in full view of and in the face of his enemies for our salvation. This is the example of enduring persistence and perseverance when confronted by adversity. Jesus was encouraged and endured when confronted by determined enemies through his purpose and relationship with his Father. I cannot do anything on my own. This is what Jesus tells us. I cannot do anything on my own. Let me repeat that. Jesus, speaking about himself, true God and true man, is saying, and will continue to say to us, I cannot do anything on my own. I judge as I hear, and my judgment is just, because I do not seek my own will, but the will of the one who sent me. Jesus is not telling us he won't do something. Jesus is not telling us he cannot do this or that particular thing. Jesus is telling us he cannot do anything on his own. This is a very, very profound statement. This is a statement which crystallizes, illuminates, and solidifies Jesus and his purpose. This is a statement that springs hope for the lame, discovers promise for the blind, and erects homes for the homeless. This is a statement which I overlooked until it jumped out at me. Jesus makes this statement for his adversaries, those who seek to destroy him through trickery and deceit, the Pharisees, the Sadducees, and Satan himself. I do not know if there is anywhere else in the Gospels in which Jesus states emphatically, "It is impossible for me. It is impossible for me to do anything on my own. It is impossible for me to do anything of my own volition." But we too can endure and persevere once we recognize and apply this truth in order to fulfill our purpose, fulfill our lives. We too, once we discover our purpose, are not only encouraged, but also endure, knowing we are not alone, and therefore we cannot do anything alone, only through our relationship with Jesus Christ. Amen.
Buenos días, hermanos y hermanas, soy el Padre Esteban. Saludos y bendiciones. Hoy el Evangelio está súper largo, pero al leer este Evangelio recordé dos frases que mi mamá siempre me decía cuando yo era muchacho. La primera, que ella me decía algo, yo decía, ¿qué? Mami decía, claro, escucha solo lo que te conviene. Y eso era verdad. La segunda frase que mi mamá me decía era esta: claro, te entra por aquí y te sale por acá. Es verdad. Cuando uno es joven, guapo, bello y hermoso, la vida no es tan importante, tan seria como lo es ahora que estamos mayores. En el Evangelio dice el Señor, así como el Padre tiene vida en sí mismo, así también la ha dado a través de su Hijo para todos aquellos que poseen vida eterna. Y le dio el poder de ejercer todo juicio, porque Él es el Hijo del Hombre. Por eso, Dichosos aquellos que escuchan la voz del Señor. No morirán para siempre, sino que serán destinados a la vida eterna. Dichosos aquellos que vienen a la hora del Señor, porque aquel día los sordos oirán la voz del Señor y los que escuchan vivirán. En este evangelio el Señor nos invita a escuchar su voz. Nos invita a estar siempre cercano a Él, a abrirle la vida y dejar que Él nos vaya moldeando, que Él nos vaya haciendo. Sí, es doloroso porque dejar el pecado duele, pero es necesario para poder vivir con el Señor. Llevar una vida santa no depende del Señor, no depende de la persona que está al lado mío, depende de mí, de cómo yo hago mis acciones, de cómo yo proyecto mi vida ante los ojos del Señor. Escuchemos a Cristo, que la próxima vez que usted lo escuche, entre por aquí, se tapa el oído y se vaya al corazón. Porque lo que el Señor quiere es que escuchemos su voz, pero sobre todo que cumplamos sus mandamientos. Amarás al Señor tu Dios con todo el corazón, con toda el alma, con toda la mente, y a tu prójimo como a ti mismo. Dios les bendiga siempre. Adiós.